What to do in London? Hello everyone. In this video I talk to you about London. At least in your life you should visit London. To visit London, England, is to discover a great economic and cultural capital. Vibrant, lively, modern, cosmopolitan. There is no shortage of adjectives to describe this huge and beautiful city, where there are so many places of interest that cannot be missed. Buckingham Palace, Soho, the Tower of London. Don't miss any of the most beautiful places in London thanks to our top 12 things to do and see during your trip in the English capital. 1. Attend the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. If I had to name only one iconic tourist attraction in London, it would surely be this one. The changing of the guard in front of the Queen of England's palace. Join the crowds as dozens of royal guards in red suits and bear hair headdresses march to the beat of the band. Some on foot, some on horseback, from Wellington Barracks, about 500 meters from the palace, into the castle courtyard. 2. Big Ben, Palace of Westminster, Westminster Abbey. If you want to see one of London's iconic landmarks, head to Big Ben. Probably the most famous image of London and one of the strongest symbols of the city and of the whole of England. Big Ben is well known. Big Ben does not refer to the clock. It is in fact the name given to the enormous 14-ton bell located inside the tower, which rings every hour. Built in 1858, this huge clock tower, the Clock Tower, is an integral part of the Palace of Westminster, also known as the Houses of Parliament. The clock tower is 106 meters high and is adorned at the top with 4 huge clocks of 7 meters in diameter. Big Ben and the magnificent Palace of Westminster are of course must-sees during a trip to London. 3. Party in the Soho district. We continue this tourist guide of London by the district of Soho. Soho is one of the smallest districts of London, but it is also the most animated. Center of the London nightlife, it is in Soho that are concentrated all the pubs, theatres, restaurants, cinemas and nightclubs the most trendy. Soho is also part of the tourist centre of London, with many places of interest like Piccadilly Circus, Covent Garden, Chinatown and Oxford Street. 4. The Tower Bridge. The Tower Bridge is recognizable from afar thanks to its 2 huge Gothic-style towers and its sky-blue frames. Another symbolic monument to visit in London, this bridge built over the Thames in the late 19th century was, at the time, the most sophisticated bascule bridge in the world. Today, it allows thousands of drivers and pedestrians to cross from the north to the south bank every day. If you're there at the right time, you can even see it open in 2 to let large ships pass. Tower Bridge can be seen from the banks of the Thames below. At night, it is even more spectacular with all its twinkling lights. 5. The Tower of London. Near Tower Bridge, the Tower of London stands on the north bank of the Thames. The site is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The foundations of this fortress date back to 1066 and it has been used as a royal residence, a prison and an execution site. Today it is a museum of medieval history, which houses the famous crown jewels. The tower's aesthetically pleasing exterior is also worth a look. 6. The London Eye. The London Eye is Europe's largest Ferris wheel, with each capsule seating up to 25 people. It is located on the banks of the Thames, close to Big Ben and the Palace of Westminster. You have to book your place in advance, but the panoramic view on all London that you have from the top at 130 meters high is well worth it. The wheel turns very slowly and a complete tour lasts 30 minutes. It's an original way to discover London from above, which will amaze young and old alike. 7. Walk in Hyde Park. Hyde Park is the largest green space in the city. Like Central Park in New York or Mount Royal Park in Montreal, Canada, it is one of the most beautiful city parks in the world. A walk in Hyde Park is a must during a stay in London. It's also the perfect place to have a picnic in the summer, or lunch on the terrace by the water. At the end of the year, you will also find a big Christmas market in Hyde Park. And if you're visiting London with your family, your children can enjoy the Winter Wonderland Fun Fair and the UK's largest ice rink. In summer, many concerts and festivals are organized in the park. 8. Piccadilly Circus. Piccadilly Circus is the crossroads of the city and the emblem of modern London. Indeed, it is impossible not to have in mind the image of this animated square with huge advertising screens broadcasting ads 24/7. It's a bit like London's Times Square, but in a smaller version. This square links the Soho district to the most commercial streets of Regent Street, Shaftesbury Avenue and Covent Street among others. In the center of the square, the angel on top of the Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain seems to watch over the place. A must-see in London, as a continuation of a stroll in Soho, preferably in the evening to appreciate the contrast of the lights. 9. Shopping on Oxford Street. Oxford Street is like the Champs-Élysées of London. If you're wondering where to shop in London at affordable prices, this is the place to go. Hundreds of fashion, decoration and other stores are linked together on 2.5 kilometers long. You can find the most famous British chains, Marks and Spencer, Primark, Topshop, River Island, Lush, The Body Shop. 10. Take a walk or a cruise on the Thames. When the weather allows it, it is particularly pleasant to walk along the banks of the Thames. Several routes are possible, but I recommend the walk from the old Southwark Docks to Butler's Wharf. Along the way, you'll come across a succession of emblematic monuments like the London Eye, the Tate Modern Museum, the Globe Theatre and the Millennium Bridge. 11. The Notting Hill District. Among the districts to see in London, I recommend you to go through Notting Hill. Notting Hill is one of the chic districts of London. It looks like a small peaceful village with its elegant pastel-colored houses. Made famous by the movie, Love at First Sight in Notting Hill, you will be following in the footsteps of Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. Fans are sure to want to check out the film's locations. In Notting Hill, don't miss the Portobello Road Flea Market, which is open every morning. It's an opportunity to hunt among the many antiques, second-hand clothes and other unusual objects offered on the stands. 12. Regent's Park. Located in North London, Regent's Park is one of the 8 lungs of the city. This 166-hectare park is the most flowery in the city, and certainly one of the most beautiful. Formerly called Marylebone Park, it was a hunting estate belonging to the royal family. In 1811, George IV asked the architect Josh Nash to develop the park and build sumptuous properties, including a palace. The project did not succeed due to lack of funds and the park became public in 1930. However, Nash was able to build the beautiful neoclassical mansions that you will see all around the park. Regent's Park is the perfect place to go in London for a jog, a romantic picnic or a simple walk in the greenery. WHO is coming soon to London. Tell me in comments. See you at the next video.